Hello, this is Shane. Today I'm going to give you the latest BitGrow update. As you can see, we've got some snow here, but we're going to be talking about some of the challenges that you might have Bitcoin mining and also utilizing that heat for a greenhouse and why you want to have backup heat. So the first thing we're going to talk about this morning is some of the chaos that I've had with different mining units so that you can maybe be aware of what to look out for. So let's go through the miners that we have and the troubles that they have. All right, I have a outbuilding here where I do different things for my income. Well, this is an Ice River KS Ultra, and it uses about 200 watts. And I actually have two of these. I have another one inside the garage by our house. This one's in the workshop. And it's off right now. Now, shortly after I bought these, they both bricked. Bricked means you can't get them to do a darn thing. They just sit there and do nothing. And I sent them back to the company, the manufacturer. They had a place in Texas, and they went through them and they sent them back, and kudos to them. I didn't have to send them out of the country. Kudos to them. They took care of the problem, and now they're back in working order. The only caveat is when I bought these off the Ice River site, they took about 3 weeks to get here. Meanwhile, the price of that coin dropped quite a bit, and they went from being profitable barely by the next week, breaking even, and the next week they weren't even quite breaking even. And then it's just gone downhill ever since then. So this one was mining on NiceHash pool. So when you have a miner, typically you're going to join up with a pool, and NiceHash provides a pool. And when you mine with NiceHash company, they convert it to Bitcoin. Well, for a while, this was the only, I had a couple of miners on NiceHash, and I ended up only having this one on NiceHash. So what was happening was it was only generating a few pennies a day in Bitcoin. So, like maybe 10 cents a day or something. So it ended up, they would start sending me these notices saying you didn't have enough money, and they were going to charge me a fee. So basically, the fee ate up all the money, the few pennies that this made, and my account was running zero month after month. So I got really tired of being, like they get a fee, they get a percentage of your Bitcoin, and now they're charging me a fee because I'm not producing enough Bitcoin. So that was kind of upsetting. So I turned that off. Another issue I had with Bitcoin, or with NiceHash, I'll talk to you about in a minute. Let's look at our dehydrator. This is my dehydrator. You've probably seen it in some of the past videos. The top is open right now. Those are some screens. And I use two little Bitcoin miners. These are Avalon Nano Mini miners. And the black one that you see the light on right there, that one is the original one I bought about a year and a half ago. It has ran fine. It did not come with a power source, and I bought a power source on Amazon. It was supposed to come with a power source. I bought it through Indigo, like a pre-sale, because you cannot buy direct from Avalon. They're in China, so that's a no-no. So that thing cost me a pretty penny, but it has ran non-stop. Well, I was so happy with it, I bought two more. I bought this one, and I bought one that I gave my daughter for her birthday last December. Her power unit burned out pretty quick, and I had to buy another one. And then it didn't work. There's an aftermarket there. It will not work. And so I gave her the one from this one. And so long story short, hers burnt out. I'll show it to you in a minute. This one, I think, may be able to be repaired with just a power source, but I can't get any power sources to work on it. So I think I have to go with the factory power source on it. So that's my last option on that one. It started malfunctioning about 6-7 months after I bought it, and it still doesn't work. So there we are. That's the dehydrator. I only have one unit on the
this box right here is my Antminer L3 Plus. It mines Litecoin, and it has been phenomenal. I bought it back in 2017. I have ran it off and on for all these years. It did have a major malfunction, and I just have not spent the time to try to figure out what it is. I think it's the main board. I need a new board, but I think the chips are still pretty good, and it is salvageable, but it is not operating right now. This was going to be my backup. I had firmware on it from Brains to run at about 650 watts instead of the original like, I don't know, 1200 watts that it originally would run on to make it more efficient. And I was using that heat in our prototype greenhouse, but no longer at this time. This one is on the back burner for repair.
This is the other Avalon Mini Nano 3, I think is what it was called. And this one, I bought it and it went out a couple times, burned up the power source. I put a new power source in there. And now the issue is the plug, which you almost, I think you got to have like special tools. Let's see, where is it? There it is right there. That plug right there. It just does not make a good contact, that plug right there where my finger's moving. And yeah, I mean, I don't know how you would unsolder that thing. You'd have to have a special little soldering gun. Maybe I should figure out how to do that and replace it. But that thing is not making any contact inside. It's just messed up. The old plug was kind of melted and kind of burnt in there. So I think it might work if I could replace this plug. But again, about 6 months, the shipping and everything to get this fixed, yeah, it's not very conducive to getting it repaired. So yeah, I think that thing was like $250 by the time I got it shipped. So not even 6 months, really disappointing. So even more disappointing than that, but before I do that, this is the second Ice River miner. This one, I just have it doing a lottery pool on the F2 pool. F2 pool is a nice pool. It does mine. They send me a little report. I have not hit anything with it, so it just doesn't really do much but generate a little bit of heat here in the garage. So there's that. All right, now this is the Gold Shell DG 1M. They call it, it's a Gold Shell E DG 1M. It's kind of a beast. It was producing a lot of Dogecoin, and I would say it took them, it got delivered pretty quickly. I think I bought this off of one of the guys, the middlemen ones. I think I bought this off of them. Well, anyway, so it broke down, and after about 3 months, it just quit working. First it slowed down. I was resetting it here and there, and then I was having to reset it every day, and then I'd reset it every couple hours. So I started emailing their warranty and customer service, and we went back and forth for over 3.5 months, okay, before they finally agreed to let me ship a part to them. I had to ship the part to China. It was over $100, and they sent it back to me a month and a half, 2 months later. I mean, I was down for 6 months. For 6 months. Right at the height of Dogecoin. So I'm just losing money like crazy. So I would highly recommend never ever buying a Gold Shell. Make sure whatever company you buy from, that they have some sort of US warranty center. That's why I don't know that I even want to look at Bitmain miners anymore, because I don't know how they do it. I'm thinking, I've heard What's It Miner has a US repair, so if you have a warranty issue or something. But this miner has been
profitable to break even at our better rate, our better utility rate, which is like 8.029 cents. But after we go above a certain amount, it does go up to 10.029 cents, something like that. So at that point, right now with the market down, it's not profitable. I've turned it off. It's working, but it's off. Okay. Now, finally, this is the beast for the not the prototype. The gold shell's on the prototype right now because the Antminer blew up. It was meant to use the Antminer and maybe this as a backup for cold days. So now I have this S19 J Pro, and I bought it used, and it's been really good. All the chips are good. It works fine. It had Brains hardware on it, and I decided to change to a NiceHash firmware, not hardware, firmware, software basically. So I misstated that, software. So I thought that'd be a great idea. You see I added the Infinity fan there. It has a speed drive on it. I've got a damper control off a thermostat inside. And this is kind of a bypass damper right here, which I could add an arm and go back and forth, which I think that's more a summertime thing where I would want, and then I would just put an elbow right here and blow it outside because it would be too hot in the garage. That's what that setup is right there. Well, anyway, the problem with this one, the NiceHash algorithm was wonderful. The firmware was wonderful. I loved it. But I started having problems with the pool, and I got really upset with all their charges on this other unit here. And I said, you know what? I'm sick of NiceHash's pool. I want to change this to another pool. So I followed all their instructions. I spent hours and hours and hours trying different things, looking up different techniques for doing it, and it will not budge. That firmware is irremovable. So at this point, I am actually waiting for a chip to put in up here. There's a place where you can slide a chip up in there. And you see the slot right there to the left of the cord. So I am going to put a card in there that has the original program on it. It will not reset back to the original program. So I reached out to NiceHash, and they want to charge me a fee to help me with the firmware that they get paid like an extra 1% aside from the pool fee, which is another almost 2%. So I just am fed up with NiceHash, and I said, you know what? I'm turning it off. I can't get out of their pool. I can't change the firmware. I'm turning it off until I get this resolved. So with that being said, let's go look at the greenhouse, and I will tell you why you need backup heat, which should be obvious, but we'll go into that a little bit. So nice snow outside. And we're staying at a toasty, I'd say it's in the 50-degree range. I would like this a little warmer, but I'm trying to keep the power down because I am having to use a backup heat right now. But look at what we're growing in the dead of winter. Look at all this peppermint. I could be harvesting this right now. This one is a sweet mint. There's some chives right there. This is a peppermint, very, very hot and spicy. It never has really grown a lot. I've harvested a couple times, but it seemed to be a slow grower. We've got some English thyme, got some lemon thyme, got some stevia over there, little kale plant. Here's a nice spearmint. Spearmint seems to do pretty good as well. Definitely needing some harvest. Over here, I've got some lemon balm. That's a lemon balm. Here is lemon thyme. Here is, this is sweet mint, I think. Is it sweet mint? No, it's chocolate. Chocolate mint. That's chocolate mint. Here's chocolate mint over here. It kind of died back, and then it started to come back again. So we got some green sprouting up.
Still got one marigold hanging in there. This is your, oh shoot, I know what it's called. I just can't think. Rosemary. Rosemary. Got rosemary. We've got lavender. This is bee balm. Bee balm right here, nice bee balm. Hoping to get a bee balm flower too. Got some white sage or garden sage there. Let's see. Yeah, garden sage. This is another balm, I think. Where's the tag on this one? Here we go. This one's bee balm. That's bee balm. So that means that big one over there is lemon balm. And this is oregano, which I should harvest. A lot of seeds right there as well. So this little bed here, I think my son has some potatoes and onions in it. I did want to get some basil going. We got two kinds of worms, red worms there, night crawlers there, a few sweet peas and stuff. Growing very slowly out here, but they are growing. And the backup heater. So yeah, I had it on low, but it just wasn't getting quite warm enough. So now it's on medium, which is got it a little bit warmer. So I think the cold that I had a couple nights ago, which I will be putting my temperatures on, those will be on Substack. So we'll give you all the updates on that. So that's what I've been dealing with lately in this experiment, and trying to find a way around all these difficulties. My biggest difficulty has really just been Greedy NiceHash and their firmware that is really like proprietary firmware that is so hard to get rid of. And also the mining companies that make the mining machines just producing junk and providing really lackluster service for the warranty. Just a lot to be desired, really pathetic. So those are some of the issues that that you got to look at and deal with. That's my latest update for the BitGrow system and our year-round. I'll give you an update when we get the miners back up and rolling, and we'll go through and check out everything, maybe do some harvesting. Until next time, thanks for being a part of what we do. Bye.